Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Appa in case you guys are new here, and today I have another first impressions video for you. And today I will be talking about the Changeable Pink Violet palette, which was actually supposed to be You Can Be's Aromas palette, but this is what I ended up getting in the mail, and that's what we're dealing with here. So unfortunately, that's what ended up happening. So that was the first downside, which you just heard. I don't really know what actually happened when they were shipping the item to me, but sometimes that tends to happen, and this shipped from China because I did get this from Aliexpress, and sometimes that tends to happen with Aliexpress. In case you guys are new to Aliexpress, have never shopped there, sometimes from these sellers you might not get the packaging that you're looking for. The product on the inside looks very similar to what I was expecting to get, but the outside looks a lot different. So I do want to put a warning for you guys watching this video right now. I put this order way back in 2019, maybe early December, or maybe like late November even. I can't exactly remember. And if you guys are familiar, when you order from AliExpress, it does take about 3 months to get here, for the goods to get here. As of now, I definitely would not advise you to shop from AliExpress. I don't even think you can get the products right now because with the current pandemic situation, so much is going on, and they have completely, blocked, or partially at least blocked, some of the items coming from China, from my understanding. So I would definitely not advise you guys to shop from AliExpress now. Save that money, shop from Amazon. I'm pretty sure the same company, which is You Can Be, they have distributors here in the US, so maybe you can look more into that. But from AliExpress, directly, I would just not suggest shopping right now. I want you guys to be safe. This, came a really long time ago. It was just waiting for me before the entire situation kind of just got out of hand. But please, please, please do not do shopping from that website, at least of now. You just never know, even though it's person to person transmission. Anything coming from Europe even, or anything coming from anywhere outside of the United States, just be mindful of that. Be mindful of your shopping habits, because you just don't know. We don't know much about this virus. We do know that it does spread airborne. Let's move on to the actual product here, okay? So definitely the packaging for me was a little bit of a downer. I was expecting a totally different packaging. Just by looking at it initially, I was like, wow, this is the Huda dupe, and some people have said that it is the dupe for the Huda palette, and some people even say that they prefer this palette more than the Huda palette. So I did do a demo and everything for you, which you will see in the coming future in the next couple of minutes. But basically, this is kind of what the palette looks like, and definitely you can see that it reminds you of the Huda palette. Hopefully you can see all of it. But yeah, all of these colors are just so me. I love pinky tones as eyeshadows. I obviously love my browns and my golds as well, but I definitely love pinky tones for eyeshadows, and I've gotten a couple of compliments when I wear these types of shades, so it's just always nice. And you will see in the demo that I was impressed with most of these shades. The shimmers, I did have to work a lot with the shimmers, because I feel some of these, not US brand products, they definitely have a lot more fallout. In terms of my shimmer eyeshadows, I always use a setting spray. If you don't like doing that extra step, I don't think you would enjoy the shimmer shades in this. And there's no mirror. That's another downside of this palette. And the packaging itself was really, really good. Nothing came broken or anything. But yeah, I think this palette is pretty good in performance. The mattes are better than the shimmer in my personal opinion. I feel like I've been like forgetting to do a lot of different things, but I totally forgot to read you guys the ingredients and what this palette claims and stuff. So basically there are 18 eyeshadows in 4 ready to layer textures, 11 buttery mattes, 4 pure glitter, and 3 pressed pearls. I actually saw 2 glitters, but okay, because I don't count these as glitters. Like, they're not necessarily glittery. They just perform like a regular shimmer eyeshadow, so I would call them shimmery but not really glittery. And it just talks about how to apply glitter and etc. And then the ingredients mica and talc are in this palette, so if you guys are anti those types of ingredients, you probably shouldn't purchase this. And like I said, this is manufactured in China, and it does give you the address and everything. By the way, the eyeshadow look that I have on today is from this palette, in case you guys are wondering. So now we are gonna have the demo portion. Hey guys, so I'm actually refilming this part because the first time I totally messed it up and I was not showing you what I was actually doing. It was just so out of focus. I was not in the camera, and yeah, I just decided to refilm. So today we are going to be testing the Changeable Pink Violet palette, which is also the same thing as You Can Be Aromas palette. Now, without further ado, I'm just gonna go ahead and get started because I don't know how much battery I have left. But I did put the primer on, and the primer that I used this time was the I Love Stage by Essence. So usual primer, which I always love, and I'm gonna try to use the same colors that I used last time. So the first color that I'm gonna use here in this palette is the shade Play, which looks like this. So I'm gonna apply that all over my lid. So look on the camera's viewfinder. So far I can say that it's blending really well. I am seeing it here off camera as well, and I'm sure you guys can tell that it is fairly pigmented even though it was a light shade. Now I'm gonna go ahead with the shade Tease, which looks like this, and I am trying to create the same look that I created yesterday, which is when I actually filmed the video. So I'm just gonna do that. You can see it is pigmented, and overall I feel like the mattes are performing pretty well even off camera, and you can see it is pigmented. It is there, so you can see that it's there, and there is some fallout as you can see. So that's with a lot of affordable eyeshadow palettes from Aliexpress, that just tends to happen. And now I'm gonna go ahead with this shade. I'm gonna wipe this brush off a little bit, and I'm gonna go ahead with the shade Teddy, which is the shade right over here. I'm gonna put that in my inner eye area. I know this is a nude, so I don't really know how well it will pick up on camera, but I can see it over here. Let me just make that a little bit more intense, and let's do the shade Misty. Maybe you guys can see Misty better. Yeah, that looks a little bit better, at least for off camera. And now I'm gonna go with a shimmer shade. I'm gonna use the same shade that I used last time, and it was the shade, I think, Dream World. I used the spray because actually hold on a second. Let me try to show you without the spray what it looks like. You guys get an idea of like what to expect without the spray. So just by tapping it off, I did notice that there is a decent amount of fallout. As you can see, it's not really applying that pigmented without the spray. So I do the spray technique, you know, with all of my eyeshadows, so it's not really an issue for me personally. But I am seeing a lot of fallout with the, you know, shimmer shades more than the mattes on my eyes. I don't know if you guys can tell, but there's quite a bit of fallout. There was more fallout yesterday. I don't know why it's not happening as much today, but there is fallout, I can say that. And I'm gonna try it with the setting spray, and then you guys can be the judge, obviously. So this is with the setting spray. So obviously there is a significant amount of difference. I know I have hooded eyelids, so it's kind of hard to like keep my eyes closed or like just see on my eyes, but yeah, even with the setting spray, you can see how much fallout there is with the shimmer. But this is why I tend to not do my foundation and stuff, you know, before doing my eyeshadow, because that can be an issue. And yeah, this is the final look, guys. I hope you guys can see how the eyeshadow looks like. It looked pretty good yesterday and it lasted long pretty well as well. And the only issue that I had was, you know, the fallout, like I've been mentioning to you all. But that's with like a lot of Aliexpress eyeshadow. So this is the final look. Okay, you guys, so that is a wrap up of this video. I apologize if I like tried to scare you. That really wasn't my intention. Unfortunately, with the current situation, the world is going through a crisis and we want to protect ourselves. I want you guys to be mindful. I want you guys to protect yourself and your family. I do like this palette, and I do want to mention that yeah, there was fallout and everything, but I feel like there's a lot of fallout from those AliExpress type of eyeshadows, and I have never severely had a reaction to any of these eyeshadows, personally speaking. I can't speak for others, and I have pretty normal to dry skin. I don't really break out easily, but if you do break out easily, I feel like you should be a little bit more careful with like these AliExpress eyeshadow palette. Hopefully this video was somewhat helpful, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.